Wow, that was an absolutely wild game there on Destination.
Whew.
You know, Strelok, he played a very strong game. I thought he was going to take it back, even after losing all those SCVs.
That was an unbelievable game. White Raw really did a fantastic job of pushing him out of position. And could you believe that moment with the Scout and the Dark Templars?
Oh,
I mean,
God.
that is witnessing brilliance in action. I got to hand it to White Raw. A well-deserved win.
Yeah, he is a scrappy player at times, and he can freestyle with the best of them. Really, this guy is something else.
Well, Strelok has seen his match now. Strelok dominated the first game, but this second game, I think White Raw really kind of ran circles around Strelok, even after Strelok had an advantage. So it's going to be tough for him in this upcoming game.
Yeah, this is a must-win situation for Strelok. All White Raw need is one more win. So,
yeah,
you know, Strelok, he's going to have to choose a good map, and he has chosen Neo Harmony. A little bit surprising. I thought he was going to choose Shin Chu Peng Yang. It's a very good map for timing pushes. But, you know, Strelok has spoken. This is the map that he wants.
Let's see what happens.
Let's. All right, here we go. Strelok has the map choice. He has chosen Neo Harmony. And you know what? This is actually a funny choice to me because Strelok, we've seen he's really powerful at the mid-game. The timing pushes in mid-game. He really macros them well. He uses them quite smartly. So I would think that Shin Chu Peng Yang would be a better map for that, being a two-player map. You know, it's a lot easier to play in the late game if he gets there. But he's chosen this gigantic map. It's a little bit harder for timing pushes, but I don't know. It is a good map for Terran vs. Protoss overall.
Yeah, I think it makes for some very interesting games. I'm curious how this game is going to differ from our finals with our two Chinese players, LX and Super, where I think really LX had the better strategy and the worse execution, and ultimately it was Super that came out on top. Now, White Raw, of course, is showing us that he is the master of execution. And to be even more honest, I really do think he's one of the masters of strategy in this entire ESWC tournament. I mean, I really agree with the builds he's doing. He's overall a very well-rounded player.
Definitely. I mean, this guy he's a monster of StarCraft, really. He has been winning stuff for a long time.
Right.
He has done so well, you know, like third place in PGL. And,
right.
You know, he went to this past PGL, did a pretty good job. You know, he didn't make WCG this year, but again, Ukraine is so strong.
Right.
This guy is... I mean, I tell you what, out of all the foreigner players, I really do look up to White Raw quite a bit, even though he's a Protoss player. And everyone knows I hate Protoss players.
Even though he's one of my people.
This guy is a monster. He is an absolute monster.
He really is, man. And, of course, Strelok, you got to give this guy credit. Getting third at WCG last year, that's no easy accomplishment. No. So you really got to hand it to him there. I've gotten a chance to meet both of these guys. They're very charming, ambitious individuals. And whoever wins this, I wish them the best of luck.
Definitely. You know, they're going to come over, one of them at least, to Korea. It's going to be a great tournament. One of them is going to join already qualified Super. So, you know, we could have a couple Terrans in the final already if Strelok does manage to take this out. Or maybe White Raw is going to once again meet the Chinese.
Yeah, we're going to find out. And here comes the scouting SCV, actually scouting before the Protoss, which is less than common.
You know, Strelok really on four-player maps loves to scout diagonally in most matchups because he loves early game strong builds. And if his opponent is diagonal, he has told me this, that he likes to know. So therefore, he won't do something stupid like a two-factory that's not going to work as well.
Yeah, I actually know some other players that do that as well. They always scout the diagonal position because they have a special build in cross spots and similar builds if you are adjacent to them.
Yeah, you know, it's important for a player to, you know, have all these things mapped out ahead of time, but also be able to play freestyle. We saw that White Raw is very capable of that, and we see that Strelok really does map out what he's going to do ahead of time.
Yeah, absolutely. Another advantage about checking cross spots is that you do get to glimpse in the middle and see if there's going to be proxy buildings. Now, I believe on this map you can't build buildings in the middle of the map, but it's just another thing to bear in mind. That's another one of the uses of scouting cross spots first.
Indeed, you know, that can be quite helpful, especially if you're playing on iCup. You know, you're playing in, especially in the C channel where every single player proxy gates. Scout the middle first. It's going to win you a lot of extra games.
Right, exactly. Well, Looks like this SCV is going to get picked off pretty soon here. Although, you know what's interesting about White Raw is he's not worried about showing his tech.
Yeah, that's true. That is something that really does stand out about him. And we see Strelok, he's seen the robo, he realizes, okay, it's very safe for me to make a command center. He makes it before even his first tank. And, you know, that's pretty smart because his economy is going to get way ahead. As long as he can figure out what White Raw is doing, he should be all right.
Right. Now, here comes the robo bay. I'm guessing we might see a similar build from last time. We'll see if there's a shuttle popping out here.
You know, I don't think we're going to see a shuttle this game. It's such a far location. Unless he's going to try maybe a build like LX did, I don't really want to see Reaver from White Raw this game. And I think he plans out his build so well that I kind of don't think we're going to see a Reaver this game.
Well, then it's going to be an observatory. Oh, you truly are the clairvoyant. It's going to be an observatory and one trapped probe. He lets the probe out, but I can assume... No, he cancels because the SCV gets out here.
Yeah, he wants to fake Reaver, it looks like.
I don't know if he made that too soon. The SCV might have had vision there to see that anyways.
If Strelok was quick, he may have, in fact, been able to click on that.
Right.
But, you know, it's a safe build, whether Strelok scouts or not. He is starting his Nexus. It is, you know, considerably later than the command center. But, you know, that could be okay. We're going to just have to see what Strelok does with this build.
Well, one thing you also got to remember is that it seems like both of these players, at least the Ukrainian style for this, is that you should never, ever be aggressive in cross spots, which is different from our Chinese players who basically said, I'm going to be aggressive in cross spots. So we're going to see a very different game here. Personally, I agree with the Ukrainian style.
I agree with you there. I didn't like that Reaver opening before. It just seemed like, why get yourself that far behind? But Strelok, we see his build order actually right now is quite good. We see that he's actually going to get a second tank right now. And the fact that he's skipping siege mode and getting that second factory first is very intelligent. There's really, on a map this long, there's no reason to get siege that